Hey guys, welcome back to another gaming collecting video. These are games and systems I have collect most of my childhood life up till now. And I have also a special segment of this video where my brother Poseidon sent me a few more things, and I think you're going to be very pleased with what my brother Poseidon has sent me. And he bought some things too, and I believe we'll be doing a video on that shortly and soon, you know, when he has the time. But today, guys, we're going to talk about one handheld system with two variants, two different models that I have. This system has came to be kind of expensive to collect for. The systems have went up in price, these handheld systems. The games have also went up in price. Certain games have went up in price. These games I do not have boxed and complete, because the games I found for this particular handheld system didn't come boxed. There were a few that were boxed, but they wanted astronomical prices for it, and I wasn't in the realm of paying for that then. You know what I mean? But one of the systems my friend actually gave me for free, because he didn't want it anymore, and he knew I was collecting, and he gave it to me. And actually, it's probably the version that's the most expensive out of the two. So we're going to get into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. And I want to give a special thanks to my subscribers, Anthony Chipmunk, a new guy, Google Poll, amongst others that subscribe to the Sega Man channel. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate newcomers that come and subscribe to me. You're always welcome on the Xbox Alpha podcasts, you know, when we do it on the weekends. And I welcome you to my channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're a true gamer out there and you love collecting vintage video games and talking about games of today, thank you, and I welcome you to the channel. So let's get into it, guys. Now, I'm going to show you the system that my friend gave me for free. Then I'm going to show you a few of the games in the system I actually paid for a very good price, which is the other variant of the game. And I'm talking about the handheld system that was a great system back in the early 80s. Probably late 70s, or around the mid-70s, I would believe. And this ain't that system, but it's the company. And everybody knows the Atari 2600, right? Came out very early, was a great video game system at that time. But they came out with a handheld, which was called the Atari Lynx. And this is the first Atari Lynx, right here. As you can see, guys, it is beat up pretty bad. The cosmetics of the front of the system is pretty worn out. So whoever owned this system before my friend got it, they got their money's worth, let's just say. Okay, this is the Atari Lynx. This system is kind of expensive right now. This is the first one. It's pretty big, right? Pretty big system. Has some nice weight to it. But it was one of the first lit color back screens. When it came out, you know, when it had the first handhelds, which was the Game Gear also. But I believe, if I'm correct, I'm not sure, and I could be wrong in my logic when it comes to these handhelds. I think the Lynx was the first one that had a light background to light the screen when you play the game before the Sega Game Gear. Now, don't quote me on it. I'm probably going to have to look it up after the videos, guys. But I think it was the Atari Lynx that did it first, and then the Sega Game Gear. And this is actually an awesome handheld. Now, if you want to get into collecting for the Atari Lynx, you're going to pay a little bit of a heavy price, depending on the seller. I've seen these systems in real good condition. Now, this one is beat up. Now, I can't remember what he paid for this, but it wasn't cheap, what he paid for it, you know. But I think if you want to find one with the cosmetics looking, you know, in mint condition and pretty good condition, you're going to pay well over probably around $180, maybe $200. It all depends on the seller. Some people will probably sell these to you for $100. You'll be lucky if you get it for 80 or something like that. But these are expensive right now because they're very collectible, and it was Atari's only, I believe, handheld system. Now, I'm going to turn it on for you, and I'm actually going to put in a game so you can kind of see it. Now, you're going to have to excuse the glare of my screen that I'm recording this on, guys. But that's what it looks like, and there were some games where you can actually play it vertically also and play it, which was pretty cool. As you see, I'm going to try to do something and try to get this refurbished somehow. Maybe get it, I really kind of don't want to. I want to keep it in its original form and look, but this was so whoever owned this system, they really played the hell out of this system. On the front, you have the directional pad, you have the option 1 reset, flip, and the option 2 button. And then on the other side, you had the off and on buttons. Now, I think the batteries I have in here, it might be dead. I'm not sure. But I'll show you where the games go in on this. And on top of this system, there's also a headphone jack where you can plug a plug-in on it, the volume, and things like that up at the top. But this variant of this system, and it didn't come with a back. When he bought this Atari Lynx, it didn't come with a back. That's another thing. So that kind of took the value of the system down. So he might have got this for 80. I'm not sure, but it didn't come with the back. If it did, best believe you would have been over $100. You know what I mean? So that's why I think he got it a little cheaper. You know what I mean? And he did get it off of eBay. So on the side here, right? Check that out. This is where the games go in, right here on the side, as you can see. All right? So, and I'll show you one of the games right now so I can try to test this if the batteries are not dead. This is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on the Atari Lynx. And that's what the cartridges look like. They're flat, right? Like a Sega Master System kind of card. It has a nice curve up here where you can put the game in. Nice little artwork on the front of it. But it's really cool, and it was very kind of innovative for the time for a handheld system, which was pretty awesome. Now on the back, it has the little Atari logo on the back, right there. So let's try this out. Let me make sure I'm putting this in right. It might not come on. It did come on. I guess a game has to be in. Oh, it requires, let me see. Hold on, guys. You might be able to hear it a little bit. Let me turn it up. And I'm going to see if I can try to get it where you can see it. I'm going to try to. Let's turn a light out real quick. See if it comes in better. Probably not. But, like I said, it's a pretty good handheld system, you know, for the time. The games on here were pretty decent, you know what I mean? Great color. As you can see, the sound still comes in pretty well, you know what I mean? And it looks good. You would have to have it in front of you and play it so you can see. And there is no flickering, there is no going like this so you can play the game. You know how some systems you have to do like that to see the game? You don't have to do this with this Atari Lynx. But that's the first variation of the first Atari Lynx handheld ever made. Okay? And you just take the game back out and there you go. Alright? Now the one that I required, guys, and I got it, actually I got it for a really good price at the time. This was $80 and it was definitely worth it. Because I did a trade, and it took it down to $40. Because I traded in some stuff back in the day. I used to do a lot of trading in, guys. When I went to my exchange, most of the games that I got were on trade, where I only had to pay a few dollars, like $30 maybe, up 25, sometimes $10. Depends on what I had. You know what I mean, to trade in. That's the key thing when you want to collect too. You know, use your money smart and be wise about it. Where you can also save money but not break the bank. You know, and make your wallet cry. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might have $15 in your wallet, but yet you might have, when you want to trade in things, you might have $80 or $100 worth of trade-in value. So that's how you do it, and then you're not breaking the bank. So the one I require is the Atari Lynx 2. It's the second one. This is in very, very, very good condition. I always keep my systems in flawless condition. And the Atari Lynx 2 is a little bit more attractive also. It is very unique in its shape and form that it's made. And this is the Atari Lynx 2. Now this is the one I own. As you can see, it's in flawless condition. I keep it nice and clean all the time. And always remember, guys, if you're not playing these systems, don't leave the batteries in for a couple years. You know what I mean? Because if you do, you'll get acid corrosion on the prongs inside there, and you might have a problem. But the way you can fix that, if you have that problem and it doesn't work, you go to a dollar store, you get yourself a wire brush. Alright? And the acid corrosion that's all over the prongs inside there, you gently scrape off that acid corrosion on there, and then you get yourself some rubbing alcohol from the dollar store and a Q-tip, and lightly squeeze after you dip the Q-tip in alcohol, and rub around those prongs that you scraped off. Alright? Let it air dry, and then wipe it with a paper towel. Let it sit for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, and then put some fresh new batteries in there, and your system should work. That goes for any system, a Game Boy Color, a Game Gear, or anything like that. You can do the same thing and it'll work, you know. But this is the second version of the Atari Lynx, right? Check that style out. It has nice grips on the back, grips for your hands right here, which is awesome. The games go in at the top. So it also has, just like the Atari Lynx first one, on and off button, option 1, you know, on here, reset, flip, and option 2. As you can see from this one, the buttons are a little different from the, let me see, let me get this right so I can show you guys, from the first one, right? And you can see in size, the buttons are a little different, right? See the difference? So, we're going to try the Atari Lynx 2 out, which is the one I required. And we'll see if we can see Bill and Ted again. Let's do Bill and Ted again on here. And see if we can see Bill and Ted. You might still not be able to see it on here either, but we're going to just try it out. So, let's see. Now, let's hope these batteries ain't dead here on this one. They shouldn't be. I usually don't leave the batteries in here. I play these more than I would like. I would not leave it for like a year or anything like that. So, it's saying insert game. Now, you have to do the old, remember that? You have to do that with your Nintendo games. Let's see if Bill and Ted comes in. Voila. Well, let's see. You're probably not going to be able to see it on here either. Great screen. You can adjust the volume. You can adjust, you know, the lightness of the screen, the brightness. But this is it again. See, you can see a little bit more on this one, right? You can see the beginning right there. Then it'll go into a demonstration of the game, of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, as you can see there. And we'll let it play for a little bit. It's a top-down kind of adventure game. But as Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on the Atari Lynx, guys. very, very good system. I had a couple of friends that I worked with. Well, this one friend I worked with, he wanted to buy it one time. Wanted to buy this off me so bad, and I told him no. I said, if I see one out in the wild for you, I'll get you one, and you just pay me the money. You know, he was willing to pay over $100. I said no, and I'm a collector, and I'm trying to keep these. You know, someday my son might acquire and want these systems when I am no longer here. And that's who it's going to go to, my kids. You know, my daughter and my son, they love video games, and it's going to go to my kids. So, you know. But the Atari Lynx, like I said, is a great handheld system. Even though it's big in size and people are used to smaller and slimmer systems today, even as far as playing xCloud, playing Ultimate Game Pass on your phone, which is probably the slimmest you're going to get. You know, but back in the day, this is what we rocked out. The Atari Lynx, the Sega Game Gear, and the Game Boys, and different things like that. You know? So this is the Atari Lynx, guys. I love the system. Now, let's talk about some of the games real quick, and then I'm going to show you what my brother Poseidon sent me. Alright, so we're going to go through some of my games here that I actually acquired shopping at a place called Cash and Culture, and I got a few of these games off of Amazon. Now, I got a handful of these, as you can see right here. I got a handful of these games. Like I said, Bill and Ted: Excellent Adventure, I got that for $8. You know, back in the day. Very good game, like I just showed you guys. I believe this was at Cash and Culture. I can't quite remember. Now, this game is called Gates of Zidon. Now, this game was actually on the Atari Jaguar, right? And you can see it better with better graphics. That game is, I've seen that game well over $200, man. No joke. I never got to get that game for my Atari Jaguar. Now, I don't own an Atari Jaguar anymore. I had to trade it in because of personal reasons and things I had to do back at that time. And I got a very good amount of money for it, too, in trade, you know. But I actually took the cash. I got well over $280, you know. But I needed it for something more important, you know. That's another reason why to collect. Might sound a little weird to you. But, man, if you know you're in a problem and you might not have the cash right now, you might have to resort to selling some of your stuff to help you out. You know what I mean? So it's another good reason to actually collect when you can. If you can get stuff cheaper, later on you might have to let it go and you can acquire it later. It all depends on your funds. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to sacrifice and do those things. And I will gladly do that for my family. Anytime, anywhere, any day. You know? So this one is called Gates of Zidon, if I'm saying it right. Now this game, I paid, I think it was $10 at Cash and Culture. And this game has went up a little. It's a side-scrolling shmup game on the Atari Lynx. It's actually pretty good. They did a decent job with this. Now, I've seen this game well over $50 now on eBay and different sites like that. So this is another great game on the Atari Lynx. This one is called Crystal Mine 2. Now, I've seen this for about $30. That's not bad. You know, but it's kind of like a Dig Dug. It's kind of like a Atari Lynx, a version of a Dig Dug in a way. You know what I mean? So, like, and another thing about some of these Atari Lynx games, they have some really cool artwork on the front of the cover here of the cartridge, the little card here, which is really cool. You know, and it's neat, and I like it. It's unique and it's different, but it's a nice little game to play, and it's very addictive. Very addictive. Next one here is called Cyberball. Now, I did pick this up at Cash and Culture, I remember, for $5 back in the day. And another cool game to play on there. Like I said, great artwork on the front. Looks like a little cyborg there. Would look like got Edward Scissorhands fingers or something, you know. But that's actually pretty cool. Now, this game everybody knows of, and it's been on... It's actually on compilations that you can buy on your Series X now if you have the... Is it the Midway Collection? Yeah, I believe so, and that is Pit Fighter. Very cheesy fighting game, but it was actually pretty brutal. It was a pretty brutal... When you play this on the Sega Genesis and stuff, you could be pushed into the crowd and they can stick you with a knife, man. You bleed and go back into fighting the dude you're fighting. Very brutal game. You know, I like Pit Fighter. You know what I mean? I thought it was awesome. You know, graphics were a little cheesy, but to me it was like a kind of like a Mortal Kombat-esque game. And I thought it was pretty good, you know what I mean? But this is Pit Fighter for the Atari Lynx. This one is called APB. Now, I don't know if APB came out on, and Pit Fighter was around, I think, $8 on Amazon, I believe. APB is another one. Now, I think APB came out on other systems. I'm not too sure about that. But APB, I have to do my research on it. It's like I can't remember if this is you got to find a robber or something like that. In there, it's a top-down, not racing game, but kind of like a adventure game. APB, as you see, has really, really cool artwork on the front of there, which is pretty awesome. And it's actually in good condition. A lot of these games you'll find where it's the front of it's worn out and you can't really see what it is. And I think it was around $5 at the time. Some of these games I got a long time ago, guys. I think it was around $5 at Cash and Culture. One of those places. I can't remember, guys. It was long ago. California Games. I remember this being about $4. I think I found this one at a flea market. California Games. A lot of these games you're seeing here have definitely went up in prices. They're definitely worth more right now than $8. They're probably in the $30 to $50 range, some of them. This one here is called, if I can say it right, if I can see it right. I can't see it right. Checkered Flag is a racing game that's on there. This was about $5 back then, too. The racing games and stuff like that, they weren't really that much back then, but they're probably a little more now. It's probably in the $25 or $20 range, I would say. And the last one here is called Exobots. This is another great game right here, and it has a little bit of a nice little artwork on the front of there, and that's another good game. I've seen this for around $30 to $40, and I paid, I think, around $10 for this, I believe, at Cash and Culture. But guys, that's all I got today for gaming collecting that your brother Sega Man does. But if you want to get into collecting the Atari Lynx, just do your research and see if you can find a system at a very decent price. You might be able to talk some people down, like on eBay, but on Amazon, forget it. You know, you're going to pay the original price of what they want. But do your shopping. If you're into collecting handhelds and you want to acquire an Atari Lynx, your best bet would be probably to go to eBay or one of your local, like go to Facebook, and they have people that sell video games and different things like that. But make sure they're a trustworthy, seller. Make sure their stars on there are good, or they have really good positive feedback, because you got to watch that also when you're buying video games from sellers, third parties, or anything like that. So that's all I got for you today, guys, when collecting with Sega Man, is the Atari Lynx, which is a great handheld system. And I want to thank you very much for watching. So the last thing I got to show you is from my brother Poseidon. 2 thumbs up to my brother Poseidon, man. Thank you very much for all the gifts you gave me. A lot of people have commented in the comment sections, Poseidon, about everything you've got me, man. I get a lot of love and support, man, on my channel. And I really appreciate all you guys that support and subscribe to me. 100%, guys. I support you guys. You guys rock. You brothers are great, man, out there. You know what I mean? And thank you very much, everybody. So let's see what my brother Poseidon got me. This actually came in the mail yesterday, so I'm going to show this first before I show you the other thing he got me. And I did see Unlimited's unboxing of Hogwarts, so go check out Unlimited's channel. This is from Poseidon. It's from, can't show you the address, but this is from Poseidon, man, and I just got this the other day. Poseidon is outdoing himself, man. Wow, man. Let's check this out, guys. Wow, man. This is looks like another amazing magazine that my brother Poseidon sent me. I think it's called Shiro Magazine. It says #1 fan for Sega Saturn news, reviews, and retrospectives on gaming, I guess. Plus Wipeout, Sega Saturn Hockey, Shootout, Hell Slave. So, and it says for fans, by fans, which is awesome. This is really awesome. This is issue 1 of 2022. Saturn 3D mascot platformer. Chawak, I think. I'm butchering the names. It says also plus interviews with the game's developers, David Warhol, if that's right. Check out the cover, guys. It has Bug on there. I own Bug and Bug 2 on the Sega Saturn. Very sought after games, very expensive games right now. But it was like kind of like the Sega Saturn's mascot at the time, because there wasn't really a good Sonic game on there yet. So he was kind of the mascot when the Sega Saturn was introduced. I think in 1995, if my brain's correct, with the Sega Saturn. So that is Bug on the cover. Bug was actually a really good game. It was a very comical game, very funny game, and I liked it. It had a sense of humor. And that's what I liked about the game. It comes with a nice back slip cover. So let's take a look at this real quick. Just take a quick look here. This is really awesome work, guys. Magazines are when it comes to retro gaming, are awesome. You don't really see really great gaming magazines anymore. You just don't. This is just an awesome thing. Like, check this out. Let me just show you the first picture of the front of the magazine, which is, you know, pretty awesome. It's advertising a game over here. And we'll just go through it real quick to show you like a couple of pictures inside here. Interviews with people that contributed, I guess, to the magazine. This is really awesome, Poseidon. Thank you so much, brother. I have a lot of reading to do. And I'm glad to do it. This is just amazing. Amazing. Look at this stuff. I mean, this is amazing. These were advertisements that you would see in the Sega Vision books and stuff back in the day, in the Sega Saturn books, you know? Trying to see if I can show you guys like a Shiro podcast. So I'm going to have to check that out. You know, like it's showing stuff like with games of Sega Saturn and stuff. Like here's the Bug 2 article that I'm going to get into reading later. You know, it smells good, like fresh, brand new smell of a game magazine, which I love and miss, you know. The ink smell, oh, it's just great. You know what I mean? But that is some of what it looks like inside, guys. Very awesome magazine. It also has on the back Retro Bit. I own a couple Retro Bit systems. A handheld Sega Genesis that I will probably show you guys in a future upcoming of collecting with Sega Man gaming collecting video. But that is awesome, where you can probably get, I think it's a wireless. Yeah, it's a wireless freaking Sega Saturn controller, which is awesome. And you can get it at Amazon. I'm actually thinking about getting one of these. Like I have original controllers for my Sega Saturn, but I do want a wireless one. So I'm actually thinking about purchasing one of these and doing an unboxing on it. So this is an awesome magazine from my brother Poseidon. I want to put it back in its original slip cover that it came in. Now guys, this last thing I got to show you. I know the video is a little long, but please stay for this, okay? Brother Poseidon sent me something, man, that is out of this world awesome, okay? This is for, let me get a sip of coffee here. So good. This what he sent me is the holy grail of collecting video games. This is the holy grail, guys. When I show you this, it's going to blow your socks off, okay? It really is, because it blew mine off, brother. There is game systems in this thing he showed me that I didn't even know existed. And I'm an OG game collector out here, bro, and I pretty much know mostly all the systems. But there were so many different variants of systems out there from all over the world that Sega Man didn't even know about, guys, which blew me away. Let me show you this. This thing is heavy, too. The video game console collectors field guide. This is amazing. Over 460 pages. Check this bad boy out. I mean, this was made with super quality and pride of being a game collector, man. Hats off to the people that sponsored and made this. This is amazing, guys. And it don't just cover one system. All systems. So check this out. It even comes out of a nice hard cardboard sleeve. Right? Oh, it smells so good of fresh ink. I love it. It has a bookmark in it. This is the front of it. I mean, this was made with high quality, guys. Now, I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to just open it and show you. This thing is an awesome guide for game collectors like myself, He-Bot, and even Unlimited, and even others Inc., and all the brothers that kind of collect. It has from the Odyssey, the Magnavox Odyssey, to all the Ataris. Look at this, guys. Look at that. That's amazing. Now I'm going to just show you one picture. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Guys, give me 1 second. It's my wife. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, I'm back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just a couple more pages. These are like all the Magnavox Odysseys. Different versions and variants of the system, which is pretty awesome, right? Nice quality in the pictures, color of the pages, and everything in this book. Now I don't want to mess up or riffle the pages, but I'm going to go to something you guys probably never seen before, which is pretty awesome. That's Nintendo, Sega Saturn. So I'm trying to find this one page that has PlayStation, everything in there. Look at this. Let me show you this. Laserdisc, Pioneer, that made games. Pioneer, Laser Active, all this stuff. Look at this, CDI. This is the last page I'm going to show you because it's just way too much. CDI. Look at all these game systems, guys. But in a like CD player form. Amazing book from our brother Poseidon. Amazing. This was worth over 30 minutes to show this video and do the collecting for the Atari Lynx, guys. If you want to acquire this book, look at the front of it. You can acquire this book. Let me also promote. Let me get the card here. The people that made this possible. Now, if you can see this, I don't know if you can see it, but this is the company, the people that made the book. And there's other products and things you can get from them. A shout out to them that has brought this to gaming collectors, guys. So take a look at that if you can see it well. Very good shout out to them that made this. This is an awesome, awesome book. So if you want to acquire this, go check out the website that I showed you on a card. If you can see it. Now I'm going to put this back very nicely, if I can. Here we go. And I'm going to actually sit down and read this thing this weekend. Not the whole thing, but I'm going to start it. So thank you very much, Poseidon, my brother, again, for all the great gifts that you have sent me, brother. I know that I'm very appreciated out here as a game collector out here in these gaming streets. Brother Poseidon has proven that over and over again. You know, that is awesome. He didn't have to do that. Also, our brother Smitty Smith really appreciates everything that me and He-Bot and all the brothers here that are true gamers bring out when we do collection videos, whether it be statues, figures, video games like I do, vintage video games, Unlimited, everybody. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the week, all right? Peace and love, guys. Happy collecting, and thank you also for subscribing to my channel, guys. I really appreciate it. And you know your brother Sega Man will always subscribe back to you. if you have a channel. All right, guys. So I will see you later on in the week with a Hangouts video, and soon I'm going to do a interview with Dea. I have to get with her and talk to her, you know, the first lady of chat, which is a true gamer out there. And I want to get a woman's perspective on how they really feel about gaming and how they feel being in gaming. All right, guys? So I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you soon. Peace, guys.